Okay, welcome. Good afternoon, everybody. And this is, Motivate with VJ, and an episode on this cold afternoon out here. It's like 10, 15 degrees outside, but I just want to see how my people are doing. I just want to see how everyone's doing. Today is Friday, finish the week out strong. It's the weekend. It's Friday. Some people are off already, but it's the end of the week for some. Not for me, it's my middle, but neither here nor there. It's the end of the week, y'all. The weekend's here. Christmas is here, pretty much here. So, get all spend time with your loved ones. But I just want to say, while you're doing that, I want to give you a reminder of as you wrapping up your workday, to just follow your heart. Follow your heart and do what your heart's telling you to do. At times we get so wrapped up in everybody else's world, everybody else's problems, or the way everybody else do things, and we don't pay attention to our own feelings. We don't pay attention to how we're feeling inside, right? What our heart's telling us to do. And, it's, especially in today's society, we always constantly listen and seeing what somebody else's opinion is, or what somebody else's thoughts is, and the way they process it. But we're ignoring how we feel deep down inside. And we gotta figure out how to block out all that noise and listen to what makes us feel right. We'll listen to what makes us happy, right? And until we figure out that balance, until we figure out how we do that, and we pay attention to ourselves, and then we'll be running in the same circle, emotionally, mentally, physically, right? So, it's, we do this with work, we do this with relationships, we do this with a lot of other things, and especially with working like relationships, like work, like I said, we're spending time with loved ones, and you got some people who you probably fall into this trap to where they could be in a relationship they didn't want to be in. They could have once been vastly in love. They could have once just adored each other. But as time progressed and you learn people, some people it's not a good fit, right? Some people you realize, this is not going to work. But you still go through the motions. You still go through the cycles. But deep down, and I've been in this situation many, many years ago. Deep down, you know that this is just not going to work. And at that point, you gotta listen to your own heart. You gotta listen to your own feelings, and maybe at times you gotta be a little bit selfish at times, because if not, you're gonna regret it in the end. You're gonna resent that person. You're gonna resent yourself in the end, right? You could be living with somebody, and deep down, this is not gonna work, right? Y'all talking less. Next thing you know, for some reason, y'all get married, y'all have kids, and now you feel like you're more trapped than before. This is men and women, right? But if you feel deep down that it's not going to work and it's not making you happy, do what makes you happy. Follow your heart. Follow your heart and go forward and push forward. And, and then only then, once you find happiness within yourself, once you can make yourself happy, right? No matter what the other person is doing, whatever this job is doing, then you can truly be happy. And like I said, we especially do this in our career fields. We especially do this in jobs. We at jobs that most of us work at jobs that we hate, right? Again, when I speak to y'all, I'm speaking to myself. But we get a job that we hate. We work at a job that we can't stand, right? Yes, they give us a paycheck. Yes, the job may pay pretty well, right? And I didn't realize this until I was way older, that I knew people who got paid close to six-figure jobs, but it was taken away from their home, taken away from their family, from their kids. It was a toxic environment, and they let it go. Yes, you're making less, but you're going to find a way to survive. You're going to find a way. Right? If you have a peace of mind, you're going to find a way. And even right now for me, like I said, I have a job it pays pretty well. Overtime if needed. But what I'm subjected to, the people that I'm surrounded by, the way it's ran, it's toxic. You come to work, it's not, hey, how you doing? It's if you don't do A, B, C, and D, Stop doing A, B, C, and D. They're not, in a lot of jobs, they're not answering the problem. They're trying to throw a Band-Aid over the problem, or they're constantly telling you what you shouldn't be doing, right? So if you're ever in a situation that is just toxic, the environment's toxic, right? It can cause anxiety. It causes, depression. I've never seen so many people see therapists and be depressed in my life until I came to my current job. It causes depression. Because people, it causes overwork people. People, you've been overworked. You got to go to the doctor more often. Constantly complaining. Complaining is a give and take, depending on how you look at it. But just an environment that's toxic. Morale is low. And yes, it pays your bills. Yes, it pays everything you need. But deep down, it's a matter of you're not happy. You're eternally dead inside. You dread coming to work. And most of us work more than we at home. Most of us work 5, 6, some people work 7 days a week, right? You work 8 to 12 hours, 16, some people. You work 2, 3 jobs, some people. So you're at work more than you're at home, right? I will say this and I will repeat it. You should not dread going to a place. You should not be unhappy going to a place that you spend more time at work than at home. If you find yourself in that situation, again, you can have goals. Hey, I'm going to work. I'm going to leave. I'm going to resign at a certain point in time. I'm going to save up, whatever it may be. And that's fine. But you should not subject yourself to emotional and mental punishment if you are truly unhappy. And because for me personally, I've kind of sat back and paid attention and watched that when you go to a job that you despise and it makes you physically sick, it makes you emotionally sick, it makes you mentally sick, then you're at a point where you need to leave. Because no matter amount of money, you're going to be truly unhappy. And not only to that, you're going to waste time. Those ideas you had in your heart, in your mind, go employ those ideas. Start those ideas now, right? Bring them to fruition. Because there's times when you get off, you have off days. When you get off, you're too tired. You're too emotionally drained. And everything starts mentally. People don't realize everything starts mentally. You could be you could work physically hard. But then when it comes to you getting off, you have energy, you have a little pep in your step. So when you're mentally and emotionally drained, everything starts mentally. It starts in the mind. When your mind is tired, your body is tired. That's why they say, when you're physically tired, you can push through the pain if you're mentally strong. Mind over matter, right? Mind over matter. So when you're emotionally tired, when you're mentally tired, it's draining the rest of your body because it's all connected, right? So without getting off track is follow your heart. If your heart's telling you, I need to leave from this toxic place. I need to leave. I do something that I love. I'm passionate about. I need to leave from this place that's causing me depressed, causing me sadness. These people, this place, whatever it may be, it's calling me sadness, calling me anger problems, it's calling me anxiety, it's causing me all these issues, all these illnesses. Listen to yourself. Take heed in your own advice. Because day after day, the longer you subject yourself, the harder it's going to be to get away. Because at the end of the day, you have to release that some kind of way, whether it's the negative or positive way. You have to release those negative feelings, those negative impulses, the depression, the anxiety, the anger issues, whatever is causing you right? The tiredness, whatever is causing, you have to release that. And most people, it's in a negative way, right? So, like I said, you shouldn't spend more time. You shouldn't be unhappy, severely unhappy in something or with someone or doing something, doing anything that you're putting your time in. Because, long story short, there's $1 million, there's a million ways to make $1. It's a million legal ways to make $1, right? And most of us have that dream, have that passion within us, something that we're good at, something that we can do, but we just refuse to follow what our dream is. We refuse to start small. We refuse to put our voice out there. We refuse to, to talk like I'm talking, to put it out there. We refuse to, because someone's always listening, right? And someone just have the gift of certain things. And if you have that gift, hone that gift. Because some people can deliver the same message, right? They could say the same exact words, but the message is delivered completely differently. One person might say it with more passion. One person might, you might look at that person, you see them, you hear them 2 different ways. So like I said, I'm going to say this, follow your heart. Do what your heart tells you to do. Right? Follow that dream. And people they're not going to understand it. It's your dream. It's your passion. It's in your heart, right? But just keep pushing forward. Keep pushing forward. So you got to remember, man. So as this year come to a close, we got Christmas, we got New Year's, and that's fine. Start now. Let's reprioritize. Like I said, myself included, reprioritize. Let's reorganize. And start from this point now. We can start and push through the new year. Push through the new year. Boom. Right? Now, let's not wait for 2 weeks to January 1st. Let's start now. Push forward. Keep pushing. Right? Let's do things beneficial to us. Let's treat our things to healthy things. No matter how hard it may be. No matter how hard decisions may be. Let's focus on decisions that's going to be beneficial to us. Right? So let's do that. Let's push forward. Remember, follow your heart. Do what your heart's telling you. Listen to yourself. Believe in yourself. Trust yourself. And like I said, this your boy VJ. Enjoy your weekend. Happy holidays. Be safe. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. And I'm out. Peace.